Me and Dillon both play sports and know what it's like to get injuries. From early ages and older ages deal with injuries, and it's critical to their health, and the world needs to notice it more today. A study from the National Center for Injury Prevention found that 47% of high school football players say they suffer a concussion each season, with 37% of those reporting multiple concussions in a season. But according to the American College of Sports Medicine, some 85% of sports-related concussions go undiagnosed. Also, a 3-year study of play in 100 U.S. high schools found that nearly 41% of athletes were back on the field too soon, showing a big no for athletes. This is putting their health in critical shape if they have a concussion or any type of injury. These concussions can be so severe that they could deal with a diagnosis found as CTE. CTE is a brain condition associated with repeated blows to the head. Potential signs of CTE are problems with thinking, memory, personality changes, and behavioral changes, including aggression and depression. You see here, this is a normal brain. Playing all those years of football could lead to this. CTE is very critical to the health of athletes. Equipment, diagnosing, and treatment. These 3 main points are going to help us fight against concussions. So, equipment. Proper equipment is a big need for all sports, including football. Football has made a big leap in equipment. In a crucial year in 1968, 32 professional athletes, football players, died, and it was mostly because of lack of equipment. And back then, they didn't even have face masks, so face masks were developed, better pads, everything.
Diagnosing a concussion is very simple in today's world. We can see symptoms like headaches or vomiting or even different sizes in pupils. But on the other hand, we have CTE, which is very hard to diagnose. We have to allow our football players and American citizens to die before we can even check their brain for the horrible ailment, according to Stephen Reinberg. And I'm here to ask you, why do we have to allow these people to die? These are our fellow American citizens, and we have procedures like MRIs and CAT scans and even organ transplants, but here we are allowing our fellow Americans to die. Now, for treatment of concussions and CTE, it's very hard to come by or even non-existent. In America's new favorite pastime, football is the new leading cause of CTE and concussion-like symptoms. In 2015, the movie Concussion was produced to help portray the image of Mike Webster's death in 2002. His death was caused by a heart attack, but later he was found to have CTE in his brain. The CTE came from all the concussions that he was diagnosed with while he was playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers and before he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. During his football career, if he had so many concussions to lead him to have CTE in his later years of life, why didn't we have a medication or some type of procedure to help give him the help he needed? Me and Dillon both know that concussions are very dangerous in today and the past world, but we also do know that people in the audience do not believe us fully. Some people may be saying that concussions aren't that real, concussions won't affect me, I can care less about a concussion, but I'm here to tell you that is not the truth. Like one of you, I used to be the same way and saw concussions as some silly little thing that would never get me in life, but unfortunately it did happen to me that I suffered from a concussion. And I remember going up in the air and that was it. My head blacked out. I remember crying for a half hour and no rhyme or reason why. And I just had to suffer through it until my doctor said I was cleared to play again. But now that I've gone through it, I'm here to tell you that you can't live like that. You have to acknowledge what is really going on in today's world, in athletes' world, and normal citizens' world, and possibly your world. In conclusion, our nation cannot keep sitting idly by while our fellow Americans are suffering from CTE. Our nation cannot keep sitting idly by while our fellow Americans are dying from CTE. But as I keep going, let's just take a little step back to that player who got hit in the third quarter and got hit with a severe concussion. Let's put you into his shoes. He's going to be dazed, confused. He's going to be suffering a whole lot of pain. But then, most likely, he's going to be back on that field later that game or next week's game. And then the same thing's going to happen, and it gives him a better possibility of suffering from CTE. And I just question the fact, why do we allow this to happen for the future of our generation, for the future of America?